Ever pondered about the mysteries of the oldest civilization that still exists today, China? Delve into the enigma that is China, a civilization that has continued unbroken for over 4,000 years. Its history is a complex web of stories, legends, and facts that intertwine like the intricate patterns on a piece of fine silk. The roots of this ancient civilization stretch back to a time shrouded in the mists of myth and legend, and its branches reach forward into the modern era, shaping the world as we know it today. China is a civilization born of innovation, resilience, and a deep respect for tradition. It's a land where ancient philosophies still hold sway, where the echoes of dynastic rule resonate, and where the spirit of the dragon, the symbol of the Chinese nation, still roars. But what makes China truly intriguing is the mystery that surrounds its past. The China we see today is the result of thousands of years of history, but much of that history remains a puzzle, waiting to be solved. Despite the passage of time, the enigma of China's past continues to captivate us. From the mythical Yellow Emperor, said to have ruled China over 5,000 years ago, to the rise of the Middle Kingdom as a global powerhouse, every chapter of China's history is filled with intrigue. Tales of legendary emperors, grand dynasties, and epoch-making events abound, but so do questions. How did China manage to maintain its cultural continuity for over 4 millennia? What are the secrets behind its longevity and resilience? And how has China's past shaped its present and will shape its future? The answers to these questions are not simple, but they are fascinating. They lie in the legends of mighty emperors and the annals of great dynasties, in the wisdom of ancient philosophers and the innovations of pioneering scientists, in the triumphs and trials of the Chinese people. So buckle up, history enthusiasts. Prepare to journey through a timeline that spans thousands of years as we unravel the rich tapestry of China's history. This is not just a journey through time, but a voyage into the heart of one of the world's most enduring civilizations. Our journey begins in the Neolithic Age, with the birth of Chinese civilization. The story of China starts approximately 6,000 years ago. It's a time when humankind transitioned from nomadic hunter-gatherers to settled farmers. A period marked by the emergence of two significant cultures, the Yangshao and Longshan. The Yangshao culture, named after the first archaeological site discovered in 1921, was a matriarchal society that flourished on the banks of the Yellow River. They were skilled potters, creating intricate designs on their pots and vessels, often using the colors of red, black, and white. Then there was the Longshan culture, known for their black pottery and the development of early cities. Unlike the Yangshao, the Longshan society was patriarchal and marked by social stratification, setting the stage for the hierarchical systems of later Chinese dynasties. Now let's talk about the oracle bones, because this is where the story gets particularly fascinating. These are the earliest known form of Chinese writing. What are they exactly? They're pieces of bone or turtle shell used in divination ceremonies, inscribed with questions for the gods about everything from weather to war. These bones were heated until they cracked, and the patterns of the cracks were interpreted as the gods' answers. The discovery of these oracle bones in the late 19th century shed light not only on the Shang dynasty's religious practices, but also on the early development of the Chinese written language. It's a language that has evolved over millennia, yet still bears traces of these ancient inscriptions. And so, with the birth of settled societies, the development of pottery and writing, we see the dawn of Chinese civilization. A civilization that would continue to grow, evolve, and flourish, leaving an indelible mark on the history of the world. As we move forward, we encounter the first dynasty that left significant records, the Shang dynasty. Enter the era of dynasties, a time of great leaders, philosophers, and tumultuous change. This period in Chinese history, brimming with a symphony of endless tales, witnessed the rise and fall of some of the most influential dynasties. Let's travel back to the Bronze Age, to the reign of the Shang dynasty. It was an era marked by achievements in artistry and technology, with intricate bronze vessels and jade carvings capturing the essence of the time. Yet, the Shang dynasty was also known for its brutal rituals and warfare, a stark contrast to the beauty of its creations. Following the Shang was the Zhou dynasty, a period of great intellectual and philosophical growth. The Zhou gave us the influential philosophies of Confucianism and Taoism, shaping Chinese thought for centuries to come. This dynasty, however, was also characterized by political instability, leading to its eventual downfall. Then came the Qin dynasty, short-lived but noteworthy. The Qin dynasty, under the rule of the first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, unified China for the first time. It was a time of strict laws, standardized measurements, and the creation of the Great Wall. Yet the harsh rule of Qin Shi Huang led to rebellion and the end of the Qin dynasty. Lastly, we step into the era of the Han dynasty, a golden age of economic prosperity, cultural development, and expansion. The Han dynasty saw advancements in science and technology, the creation of the Silk Road, and the rise of Confucianism as the state philosophy. Yet, like all dynasties before it, the Han too fell, succumbing to internal strife and external threats. The fall of the Han dynasty led to China's division and the period of disunity known as the Six Dynasties. These periods of rise and fall, of unity and division, characterize the age of dynasties, shaping the history of China in ways that continue to resonate today. Amidst the chaos, a golden age flourishes, marking the Tang and Song dynasties. These dynasties, spanning from the 7th to the 13th centuries, were a time of remarkable progress and innovation. They represented a cultural, technological, and economic zenith in China's history. During the Tang dynasty, China experienced an explosion of creativity and thought. This was the era of the great poets Li Bai and Du Fu, whose poignant verses still resonate today, capturing the soul of a nation in beautiful, timeless prose. Chinese painting also flourished during this period, embodying the spirit of the age in vibrant, intricate strokes. But it wasn't just the arts that thrived. The Tang dynasty was also a time of remarkable technological advancements. One of the most significant was the invention of gunpowder. This explosive compound, initially used for medicinal purposes, would later revolutionize warfare, not just in China, but across the world. As the Tang dynasty faded, the Song dynasty rose, continuing the legacy of progress. Under the Song, economic and technological advancements flourished. This was the era that gave birth to movable type printing, an innovation that transformed the dissemination of knowledge. It allowed books to be produced more quickly and cheaply, making knowledge accessible to more people and spurring on an intellectual revolution. The Song dynasty also saw the invention of the compass. This simple device, a magnetized needle floating in a bowl of water, revolutionized navigation. It enabled mariners to confidently venture into the vast oceans, opening up new trade routes and fostering global connections. But this golden age, this period of rapid progress innovation, was not to last. As the 13th century dawned, a new power was rising in the East. A power that would not only challenge the status quo, but would also fundamentally reshape the course of Chinese history. However, this golden age was not to last, as the Mongols were on the horizon. The winds of change blow from the north, bringing with them the Mongol hordes. This was the 13th century, a time when the Mongol Empire was rapidly expanding under the leadership of Genghis Khan and his successors. Their conquests were swift and brutal, reaching as far as Eastern Europe and the Middle East. But let's turn our attention to their impact on China. The Mongols toppled the Song dynasty, marking the end of native Chinese rule for nearly a century. They established the Yuan dynasty, led by Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson. These were foreign rulers on Chinese soil, but they adapted to the Chinese way of life, embracing its administrative systems and cultural practices. They even moved their capital from Mongolia to Beijing, further solidifying their rule. But even the mighty Mongols couldn't escape the cycle of rise and fall that characterizes human history. By the mid-14th century, the Yuan dynasty was in decline. Rebellions broke out across the country, and the Mongols found themselves unable to maintain control. This period of unrest gave rise to the Ming dynasty, led by Zhu Yuanzhang, a peasant who rose to become the Hongwu emperor. The Ming dynasty is often remembered as one of the greatest eras of orderly government and social stability in human history. They re-established the civil service examination, which promoted merit over heredity and helped to stabilize and consolidate the empire. The Ming dynasty is also known for its naval expeditions led by the eunuch admiral Zheng He, who sailed as far as Africa, spreading Chinese influence and establishing trade networks. These voyages are a testament to the power and wealth of the Ming Dynasty at its peak. However, like all dynasties, the Ming had its share of problems, including economic difficulties and internal strife. These issues, combined with the threat of invasions from the north, led to the downfall of the Ming Dynasty. The Ming Dynasty, known for its trade and naval expeditions, eventually gave way to the last imperial dynasty, the Qing. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's appreciate the ebb and flow of history, the rise and fall of dynasties, and the remarkable resilience of Chinese civilization. The sun sets on the imperial era as the Qing dynasty falls, giving birth to the Republic of China. In the twilight of the imperial era, the last dynasty, the Qing, faced numerous challenges that ultimately led to its downfall. The Qing dynasty, founded by the Manchus, reigned for almost 3 centuries. However, by the mid-19th century, the dynasty was in decline, weakened by corruption, internal rebellion, and external pressure. The Opium Wars marked a significant turning point for the Qing dynasty. Fought between China and Western powers, these conflicts were triggered by disputes over trade and diplomacy. The Qing dynasty's defeat in the Opium Wars resulted in treaties that severely compromised China's sovereignty, causing widespread resentment and sparking several rebellions. One of the most notable uprisings during this period was the Boxer Rebellion, a violent anti-foreign and anti-Christian uprising led by the militant Righteous Harmony Society. Despite initial successes, the rebellion was eventually crushed by an 8-nation alliance, further weakening the Qing dynasty's hold on power. The final nail in the coffin for the Qing dynasty was the Xinhai Revolution in 1911. This revolution, led by the Revolutionary Alliance founded by Sun Yat-sen, aimed to overthrow the Qing dynasty and establish a republic. The Xinhai Revolution succeeded, marking the end of 2,000 years of imperial rule in China. On January 1, 1912, Sun Yat-sen was inaugurated as the provisional president of the newly established Republic of China. The Republic of China represented a new era in Chinese history, an era of hope and uncertainty. It was a period of political, social, and cultural transformation. However, the Republic faced its own set of challenges, including political infighting, warlordism, and foreign aggression, which would eventually lead to another significant shift in China's history. Yet another revolution loomed, one that would shape modern China. The dawn of a new era begins with the establishment of the People's Republic of China. In the aftermath of the Second World War, China itself plunged into a brutal civil war, a conflict between the nationalist Kuomintang, led by Chiang Kai-shek, and the Communist Party under the leadership of Mao Zedong. By 1949, the Communists had gained the upper hand, and on October 1st, Mao Zedong declared the establishment of the People's Republic of China, marking the culmination of decades of ideological struggle. Under Mao's leadership, the People's Republic embarked on a series of sweeping transformations aimed at modernizing China and cementing the Communist Party's control. Among these was the Great Leap Forward, a campaign launched in 1958 to rapidly industrialize China's agrarian economy. However, this ambitious plan led to one of the deadliest famines in history, with millions losing their lives. The 60s ushered in the Cultural Revolution, a decade-long period of political and social upheaval. Mao sought to purge counter-revolutionary elements from society and reassert his control over the Communist Party. The revolution caused widespread chaos and resulted in significant damage to China's cultural heritage. The death of Mao in 1976 marked the end of an era. His successor, Deng Xiaoping, implemented economic reforms, opening China to foreign investment and encouraging private enterprise. This marked a significant shift from Mao's policies and set China on the path to becoming the economic powerhouse it is today. Despite these monumental changes, the Communist Party has maintained its hold on power, steering China through the challenges of the 21st century. From its rapid economic growth to its increasing influence on the global stage, the People's Republic of China continues to shape the world in profound ways. And thus, we arrive in modern China, a global superpower with a rich and complex history. So we've journeyed through millennia, witnessing the birth, growth, and transformation of China. We've seen the dawn of Chinese civilization, where the foundations of a great nation were laid. We've navigated through the age of dynasties, each leaving their indelible mark on the tapestry of China's history. We've marveled at the Golden Age, a time of prosperity and cultural bloom, and then braced ourselves through the turbulence of the Mongol invasion and the rise of the Ming Dynasty. We've watched the curtain fall on the last dynasty, only to rise again on the Republic of China. And finally, we've arrived at the establishment of the People's Republic of China, a pivotal moment that would shape the nation's trajectory into the future. Remember, history is not just about the past. It's a dialogue with the present, a guide for the future. As we look at China today, we see the echoes of its past resonating through time.